Hey everybody, how you doing? Hey, this is Evan Layton with H-Town Happy Hour.
Derek Levy, H-Town Happy Hour, best podcast in the world.
Number one of the podcasts in the world, bro. Let them know. And we have our very special guest for you today. We have...
Mimi Vilano, and I am with Millennial Title. It's my little baby.
Yeah.
So I do own a title company here in the great city of Houston. So I'm excited to be on this podcast with y'all.
Millennial Title, huh?
Yes.
Millennial Title. Tell us a little bit about Millennial Title. What is this?
First, I think she underplayed it a little. It ain't no little baby.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I am known in the real estate world. So
Educate us. What is it?
Okay, a title company is the middle transaction person between buyer, seller, lender. They facilitate the closing from beginning to end, and they hold the funds. That way, everyone feels safe and secure in a closing. And they're going to notarize the documents for you, and they're going to make sure that everybody gets paid at closing. Your payouts are paid. There's no liens on the property, and then you get insurance premium on that on your title, and that means that you're protected in case anyone comes back and says, "Hey, no, that's not the real owner." So it's very important with a lot of fraud that's been going on.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, title's a pretty big part of the transaction. It kind of facilitates who owns what, you know?
Yes, correct. So we do our background check. We make sure that the owner's the actual owner and everything's done correctly. So
How'd you get into real estate overall?
my mom. So shout out to Mama Bear. My mom got me into real estate. I was 10 years old, riding in the car with her. We had a key map back in the day. So, you know, it was us driving around Katy when it wasn't developed and figuring out how to get from one place to the next. So.
Gotcha. So this has been kind of been bred into you your whole life. This is something that you've
I'm a
been
protege.
exposed to. Yeah, exactly. She said, Mimi the protege here to stay, baby. Come on now.
Little girl from Cuba over here, so.
Cool. Now, so did you, so whenever you got into this title thing, I mean, did this, like, where were y'all? Where were y'all doing, like, the majority of this kind of work?
Okay, so it's funny. I was actually working for someone at the time, and a opportunity presented itself for a franchise, and I'm forever grateful for those people. And, you know, people have different business ideas. You know, you want to grow your business differently. So we did part ways shortly after that, and I became independent as Millennial. So since September, it'll be our 2 years going fully independent. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
And one of the hardest industries. So, you know.
hey, but real estate is also, you know, titles too. Like, it's also one of the most profitable industries.
It is.
There's so much money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I mean, there's so much money to be made in real estate. I mean, it's amazing from, you know, having hedge funds to investing to real estate to lending to hard money to title to.
So,
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's not, I mean, obviously with this kind of work, I mean, it opens up to other avenues.
Correct.
Right. So just talk about some of the other avenues that you've been able to see in this line of work.
Yeah, so thank you for mentioning that. I actually just opened another company.
Beautiful.
It's my 1031 exchange. So all my investors, I know. Yes.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
So first time announcing
So
it.
you're
Here we
winning.
go.
So you're about to start winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
we just got a leak.
Yeah, we just got the first details.
Cool.
So it's going to help facilitate my investors. It holds the fund for them, and we file all the paperwork for the 1031
Beautiful.
to be able to save them money on the long run so they're not paying taxes on those investment properties.
So I guess let's just tell a little bit about what the 1031 exchange is, just for any of the viewers here that might not have an idea of what it is.
And a lot of realtors too. So
No,
let me
hey,
help
there's a
them
lot
out.
of realtors. I mean, remember the first time I heard about one. Someone was like,
That's
yeah,
why I love educating. So to me, you know, if you're on my team, I want to educate you the best way I can. I want to make sure that you're knowledgeable of what products you want to provide to your clients. So a 1031 exchange really, it defers the taxes is what I'm going to say on your investment property. So you have to put the funds in escrow, and you have a certain time frame you have to adjust to be able to meet the 1031s. You have to identify a property, you have to submit a contract, and you have to close within a certain amount of time. So
And these are all well-qualified buyers we're talking to
yes,
right now.
yes, well qualified.
These are all well-qualified buyers that have been through the process and have everything.
Yes, not someone trying to close and then they're not even on step one of getting pre-qualified.
And I usually kind of see it as, you know, it's a one way to also to eliminate some of the capital gains tax that
Correct.
people
Taxes.
pay onto their in their investments, and they just roll the
Yes,
profits
sir.
back into
Another property.
Correct.
A similar property, yes. So that's why I said deferred. I don't want to say they don't pay
Right.
because, you know,
Yeah.
we don't want any
Uncle
problems
Sam.
with Uncle
Uncle
Sam, but it is deferred onto
Yeah.
the next property, and as long as you keep buying,
I
you're
tell
good.
you, one of my mentors, actually, I do some marketing for a real estate developer, and one of the most valuable things I think I've learned from him, you know, is this super successful, largest landowner in the city of Houston, besides the city of Houston. Something, you know, their whole family talks about is like money is in land. Period. Like if you think about it, land is really the only finite commodity on Earth, right? Like the world will always produce more oil, energy. We can make electricity. We can make clothes. We can grow food, right?
But realistic,
you can't really can't create land,
Correct.
right? So they always talk about it. And also I've mentioned this before. And they'll tell you they're hoarders and they hoard land.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They'll grab something and sit on it for, you know,
Decades.
20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Decades. And
they're
you know,
smart for doing that.
It's so smart. It's so smart. Like, no matter what, like in the long term, right? And this is not financial investment advice, guys.
We're just giving you the
We're just-
101, the free game.
No matter what in the long term, like, it goes up and down, but in the long term, it's always going up. You know what I'm saying?
Especially Houston.
For sure.
I mean, people keep talking about when prices go down. Let me tell
I don't
you.
think it's going to be
I don't
happening
think it's going
anytime
down.
soon.
They're gonna go up.
I think the only thing that's going to happen is prices are going to go up. If anything, inflation might drop a few points, but it's going
Correct.
to balance itself out with the prices of the house anyway.
Yep.
Well-
So I mean, there's a mixture of, you know, it's never going to be what it was 10 years ago. It's
Right.
never
Ever.
going to be
What
what
it was five.
Exactly.
A big part of it is it's still repercussions from like COVID and stuff. Like it's all about shipping and the procurement process and like all the supplies and everything it takes to build a home. Like there's still a whole bunch of shipping problems in the world that trying to play catch up from COVID. And so all the building materials and stuff that still hasn't caught up. So like as a developer, right, that the price of those materials is so expensive that they have to charge this extra price. But the thing is it's like even if you think about restaurants, like those prices, once you've raised the price,
Right.
you're not going to take
You're
it
not
back
going to take it back down.
I mean,
Nobody.
what
I'm giving you
sense
up-
would
Right.
that make?
You're not gonna
It wouldn't
take
make
it back.
any
I
sense.
would not.
So
I mean,
think the
even
United
KB
States,
Homes is expensive
I think
right
the
now.
United States economy is on the same exact
If
wavelength.
you think about it, like think about pho, right? You could used to get a banh mi sandwich for like $3.45 down the street. You could get some pho for $6-7, right? During COVID and stuff, $12, $14 for a bowl of pho. Same
It
exact
became a
size.
sensation
And-
because people were at home trying to make their own,
Yeah.
like
Everyone did their own
that
at-home
AMSR,
marketing.
like
at
eating,
home.
watching people eat noodles.
I knew
I feel like
people
I'm
that
doing
were
ASMR when you're talking the mic. I'm like, ooh.
Coming live.
coming to you live.
From Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Well,
Houston,
Drake-
Atlanta, Vegas.
Well, Drake sounds like a weirdo.
Yeah.
No.
No, don't talk about my baby.
Come on, don't be a hater, bro.
He put Houston on the map for a while though. Like we gotta
well,
give it up
was
to
Was
him.
was it him
Put
who
Houston
put
on the map.
Houston on the map? Was it him?
Well,
was it?
for that generation though, it was. If you put it,
No, okay, I will say this. Drake has put out consistently
Yeah.
top-notch bangers, okay?
and he always mentions Houston. I wouldn't say he put us on the map, but he did mention us in
He
the
shows
rap
love.
industry
He
to
shows
show
love
love.
for
yeah.
us, and
But
that's
he shows love
that's
because
respect.
of who he also is affiliated with. So I would show love too. You know.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Well, also,
Sure.
you know what? Lil Wayne founded him,
Yeah.
right?
Lil Wayne is.
And
That's,
Lil Wayne is a fan. I think
You have to
Pimp C
respect him.
and Bun B. I think
Yeah.
UGK helped him
yeah.
get up too.
UGK, yeah,
But,
Slim and all them.
The Prince
Right.
family, right? The Prince
The
family.
Prince
they
family, yeah.
they
True.
were one of the first founders of Drake. So
Yeah.
Right.
he's got Houston ties till he's
Forever.
Forever.
And I think that's a beautiful thing because, you know, if we are to all unite like a community like that, I mean, the wonders that's coming to Houston. I mean,
Yep.
look how they're developing downtown and
Yep.
Edo and
Yep.
all
and
the
that's,
places
and that's
around.
another thing. I mean, even
Money's coming
I've
here.
seen-
It's
it really is. It really is. I've even seen a lot of properties over in Third Ward starting to get value, like how homes are that were
Poor people can't pay their taxes
maybe
anymore.
Right? Maybe they were 150,000 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're upwards of like 230, 240.
So I've got a juicy take on this, right? Like,
Tell me,
like,
tell me,
like,
tell me.
like people complain about like, oh, property taxes are rising, but the only reason your property tax is rising is because your property value is
It's rising.
So like, okay, your taxes are higher, but your land and your home is worth more. That's
But I also
why.
think they're not educated. So there's like some people don't know there's homestead exemptions, over
Yeah.
65 exemptions. So like if you mix people, you know, that haven't like, you know, in our Hispanic community, not a lot of people know about homestead.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm
They need someone
educated
to
them at
inform
closing.
them. They
yeah.
have to be told about that
So
in the transaction because they'll be like, homestead,
Correct.
what is that?
They're like, what is that? And I'm like, well, that gives 25% off on your taxes. You know,
Yep.
like some people really have never followed that. So it's also about educating, and that's what I think is very important, and I
Right.
like to do. I'm an advocate also on like educating the community. I like to be a part of the community. I want Houston to grow. I want everyone to grow in it too.
As well as your
know?
team. Like I
Correct.
got a lot of respect for that. One of the first things you said is I like to give my everyone that's on my team. I like to educate them. I make sure they're aware of everything and like they know the processes and stuff. Like that says a lot about a leader. So
Well, yeah, no, and that was actually that's actually one of the questions I got written down. You want to tell? We're jumping a little bit in the middle, but it's cool with that. Tell us about the team that you have around you. Like, what
Okay.
sort of people do you have that make Millennium? Is it Millennium?
Millennial.
Millennial. Thank you for
Yes.
correcting me. Okay, cool. Now, are these also with 1031 exchange codes?
Yeah. So actually, I do have one of my team. She's the head of my business development, Valeria. She's here with me, and she's like my right hand, helping me along with everything, making sure that we're keeping the right connections around me. She keeps my pure heart safe, and like,
Cool.
and
Cool.
I vice versa. We're a
Right.
team. I want her to eventually own her own franchise, and the growth is from here on out. It's
doubt.
it's growing. So another one on my team is my favorite realtor, Miriam. She's here, and it's just the support also as like entrepreneurs. We're trying to push each other and be there for each other, and it's
Right.
accountability. It's all about
sure.
accountability.
Right.
Because I do more work in 3 hours than I would making myself work 8 or 4.
for sure.
You know,
For
so
sure. Everything's easier with the team too. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
And my sister runs the whole office.
And also,
Wow.
I mean, sometimes, we try to put a lot of work on ourselves, but if you have a team, it's kind of like, hey,
You have to learn to delegate.
you can pick each other up on this side or that side,
So where I lack, they make up, and I think
Yep.
it's so beautiful because I'm not Miss Know It All. I do not know it all. I have a team. I have attorneys under me. Like I have people I trust with my whole heart. And to me that's very important.
And
because
honestly, it can be stronger than working by yourself.
it's so much stronger. I'd rather
Right.
put people on. Like my sister, I trust her full-heartedly to run that office as her own, and she runs it military boot camp better than I would ever run it. Better than me.
Yeah.
And when you have people that run it better than you, that speaks.
That's great.
Because you're able to let go of control, and you're in a safe place. I'm very spiritual,
Yeah.
so
Good,
to me it's all about energy, and I want people when they come to my closing to feel the good energy and feel
Right.
that it's a trustworthy place.
You don't want them to feel anxiety when
Correct.
they're there. You don't want them to feel worked up. I mean, you gotta
Correct.
understand they're about to go through the largest transaction
And some
of
of
their
them,
life.
some of them never done it before, so they're like so many questions.
Do you think that if someone like that wants to be rushed?
Correct.
No.
No.
Do you think someone like that wants to be like, hey, come on, sit here, what,
Yeah.
thirsty? All right, there's your water. You know what I
maybe
mean?
need to be led in the
Yeah,
right
they're
direction.
they're like,
But
come
not
here,
rushed.
baby.
Well, hey, and that's
We gotta close. We gotta close.
No, exactly, and that's the point of
Yeah.
a closer. Okay,
Yeah.
it's to be like, hey, we're having a great time. Glad y'all are having a good time. Well,
Time to
your
close.
signature goes right here and right here
the
and right
dollar
here.
bill.
Just to kind of dig in that deeper, someone taught me when I was like very young. I don't want to go into too much detail on it, but he was explaining a concept to me like. Basically, you don't have to be the best at everything. Like
Right.
you build a team that you don't have to be the best talker. You get someone on your team that's the best talker and learn as much from them as possible. You don't have to be the best salesman, right?
Correct.
Get a really amazing salesman on your team. You don't have to be the best task accomplisher, right?
Correct.
Get all these people on your team and then put them in the correct positions for them to have success, and then also learn from them all.
And I learn
everything-
constantly, like,
And then
every
everyone
day.
can just focus on their role.
Correct.
You know?
It's so much
And-
easier
and then
that
it's
way.
just like focus on your role and do your damn job good.
for sure.
I agree.
Do your job good.
And that's what I like. I like that we all complement each other in one way or another,
Mm-hmm.
and we all speak Spanish, so it helps, the Spanish community
Especially
too.
in Houston.
Because I don't think there's too many escrow officers that provide that. So to me, it's important
No, it's
to
beneficial.
because if you're a realtor and you have that language barrier, we're able to close
Yup.
that gap for you, so
Yup.
you don't have to lose a deal because of
Yeah.
that. You know
That's
what I mean?
100%.
My grandma, full Mexican, and she tried to teach me Spanish my whole life growing up. And like I was so young and ignorant, I just like, I don't want to learn Spanish.
That's what my
Bonita,
son
I
right
don't
now.
want to learn Spanish. But like I look back on it every day, and I'm like, I was such an idiot back then. Like, especially me being white boy, right? Like if I would have known Spanish, that would help me so much in the business
But it's
world
never too
nowadays. It's
late.
never too late. You're right. You're right. All right.
I'm gonna sign you up on Duolingo.
Hey, Rodrigo Ramirez.
Duolingo.
He can come back Domingo Rodriguez.
All right, stop. Cut.
Rodriguez.
Cut.
I love it.
We
No.
went to that Latin festival up in Buffalo Bayou yesterday. With
y'all able to go?
109.37.
No, I just got back from Tulum, so I was like on
Yeah.
mommy Anna mode
Come
all
on.
weekend.
Got plugged in with the kiddos.
I was trying to catch up on sleep,
Yeah.
catch up on everything, cleaning,
sure.
getting
For sure.
everyone regulated. So it's a full-time task.
Hell yeah. So, okay, cool. So back on this, the Millennial Title and the 1031 exchange, when did you know that you had something good going for you?
I think I always knew, so I'm gonna be honest, since I was little.
Yeah.
All right. She
I'm
always
a
had a
Leo.
feeling.
Confident, not cocky.
I'm a Leo. Like I knew what I
Welcome to
wanted.
the Leo. Welcome to the Lions in, baby.
That's why
Are y'all Leos too?
We're lions.
Oh my
You see this
God,
mane?
What do you mean? It grows from the
Look,
face.
baby.
The mane.
Oh, wow.
I'm Leo for
Damn, she
life.
got it
Yes,
through.
let's
Come on now. Yeah,
go.
the mane grows naturally, as you see.
Oh,
It's just
this
kind
is
of-
dangerous.
Yes,
3
ma'am.
Leos together,
I
y'all.
know, that's why this show's a vibe right now.
This is a
That's why
vibe.
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a lion's den, baby. Watch
Okay.
yourself.
It's a lion's den right there.
So you always knew, but keep it diving.
I always knew, but I knew I wanted an all-stop shop, and so like I got in my real estate license, I've gotten my lender's license, and I got into title, and that's when I knew in title I was like, okay, this is what I like to do. I like that constant figuring things out, being a detective, like finding everything, like being the go-to
Curious.
person. I like learning.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
very
addicted to that shit.
Yeah, me too. The more I learn, the more power I feel like I have.
And you know what I feel? Every time I learn some more shit, I'm just like, yo, there's so much that I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm like, there's so much that I
And
don't
she
know.
was saying that, don't be a know-it-all. Like that's
Yeah.
that's so
for real.
dead on.
I had to humble myself. So I'm gonna tell you, as a Leo, I'm very cocky, right? So
Welcome to the Lions
so
Den.
being a business owner, for real, like I had to learn, like, hey, shut up. Sometimes you're not right, just shut up.
Yup.
And I had to
Yup.
learn, and if any advice I could give business owners is like, sometimes you're not always right.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
you need to listen to other people who are seeing you and seeing some ways they can help you.
So I had a client we had a client at Post. We had an event coming in, right? And we set up one of our like audio vendors, audio visual, with the event client for them to do the event, and we like shoot him in, right? And so he goes give him the presentation and everything, tell him about the audio, all this, and the event client comes back to me on the side, and he's like, "Hey man, I don't want to go with him. I want to use a different audio visual company." And I was like, "Dude, this guy's gonna give you the best for the price, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do you not want to use him?" He was
Yeah.
like, because from the second we started the meeting, all he did was try to tell me what I need. He never once asked what I wanted or like what's my vision.
Yep.
It's just the whole time he just said, "Oh, you need this, this, and this. You need these speakers. You need this, this." And I was like, "Damn, that's real." Like,
It's real. Like you learn how to just shut up, and sometimes when you're quiet, you really have more power. And I'm learning.
You know
that.
what? I've honestly, I'm starting to learn that aspect a little bit more, and it's from the phrase "still waters run deep."
Yes, I agree.
Still waters run deep. It's like you might not always. The person that can be the most cool, calm, collected, sometimes they have the most depth to what they're about to do.
Yeah.
And
you'll never see it coming.
right. And also, what I've come to realize is there's been times where I would speak things out of turn. I would be like, you know what? Hey, don't poke the lion if you don't want to see the lion's den.
Yeah.
And then I walked through a spider web, and I was like, ah!
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm over here like being like, yeah, big bed, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah.
It's God.
And it's God being like, shut up.
Yep. I've had that, and I'm telling you, it's real because it's like, it's good to have that cockiness because I had to be delusional.
confident, not cocky. Confident, not cocky.
I like saying it because
Okay. She likes feeling cocky, right? Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does.
I really
She's
do.
guilty.
Guilty, baby. I'm tired. So,
We keep it raw and rugged on
We keep
H-Town
it
Happy
real.
Hour.
Yeah, keep it real.
and this is what you see is what you get. Like I like being my authentic self. So it's who I am. And it's just, I had to learn, like you said, still water into me. It's sometimes being quiet and really just observing the room, and not always the loudest one is the one that has the biggest bark, because
Right,
the
for
top
sure.
players honestly are the quiet ones.
Yeah, they're just observant. They're taking
just
notes,
observant.
mental
They're
notes.
not going to be loud. The one who
Right.
has the most money in the room is never going to be loud.
Right.
And as a business owner, you learn that because you don't want that attention. Like you don't need that.
You
Right.
don't need that validation
That's
to
what
say
it
you're
comes
doing
down to.
something.
That's what it
Right.
comes down
Because
to.
you know you are, and to me, I'm not doing anything if my staff isn't on my level.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
know what I
Right,
mean? And the
for
goal
sure.
is to grow to get everyone to that level. So it's just beautiful, when you're able to help also families, and
Yeah. Right.
and I see different people closing, and I do commercials, so I see a lot of business owners growing their businesses
Yep.
at the same time. So
Yeah, that's dope.
it's dope. It's
Yeah.
dope.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie.
residential and commercial.
Yeah, hey, I gotta throw that in there. Don't think it's just residential.
too.
Hey, when Leo are you? What day?
August 15th.
August 15th.
What day are
okay.
you?
I'm July 25th.
Oh, you're a
So
July Leo.
I'm the
Oh.
rare one. I'm the rare
You're-
one.
oh,
I'm the
no,
rare
you ain't
one.
a
Yeah.
real Leo,
Obviously,
baby.
this is where it's
Which
at.
y'all
August
just-
2nd. August 2nd.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah,
so,
for sure. For sure.
I still have love. I still have love.
I mean, I still
I
love
think you're
y'all as well
what
because
they
you're part
call,
of the
what do they call you? Like one on the cuff. You're like almost some Sagittarius or something else.
Hey, but what are y'all moons though? Let's see how deep in astrology.
That's crazy. I don't know.
I'm a fire sign.
I don't know.
Golden
Maybe.
horse.
I have no idea.
Golden horse, fire sign.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
the
a
Chinese
golden
lunar.
horse?
That's that Chinese Lunar New Year stuff.
No.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I have a
the golden horse. Get it correct.
I have a potato chip moon.
No, y'all.
That's the
Let me
Chinese
inform y'all.
Lunar New Year.
We're not talking Chinese. We're talking about your moon rising.
I have Cooler
Oh,
Ranch
okay.
Dorito moon.
That's good.
Cool Ranch Doritos, remember that there at the top,
I need
man.
some cuchara. Like, I'm having withdrawals. I need some cuchara in 2 weekends. I was thinking about the soup right now when y'all
Oh,
talk
shit,
Mexican.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, hey, okay, cool. So talk about taking a leap of faith. Talk about
Yeah.
something whenever
Yes.
you were like,
Oh, funny you mentioned that. I have that tatted, faith over fear.
oh, really? Let us see. Let us see. What is it?
Is
There
it on
it is.
this
Faith
side or
over
this
fear.
side?
No, that's right there. That's right there.
Faith over fear. That's dope.
That's
dope.
awesome. That's
so
awesome.
I think that's a quote I live by: faith over fear. And it's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned faith because I was getting to that, and it really takes a big leap of faith to believe in yourself enough to say, hey,
Beautiful.
I'm gonna tackle entrepreneurship because there is no blueprint. I don't care how many books you read. I do
Don't
not
matter.
care.
100%.
You can be Mark Wahlberg or whoever you want to be, and you will still confront situation and
Yeah.
circumstances and things that
Right.
really test you. You know, so
There's no amount of books that's gonna tell you about how to effectively problem solve when a problem
Yeah.
arises.
That's really what it comes down to is problem solving and critical thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In
Don't
the-
get me wrong, reading is good.
yeah,
Read
reading
books.
is
Reading
very
books is good.
instrumental.
Reading
Our
is
kids stay in school.
good. Stay in school.
Podcasts are amazing. I recommend those.
Title companies are good.
Actually, don't go to college, baby. Go open a business. Let me save you some money and some years of your life real quick.
Come on.
And it's so funny. To me, I don't know. It was like a big leap of faith, and I had the support of at least my mom and dad, you know. And to me, that's very important because they're my biggest advocates. And even though they're hard on me, you know, it's for a reason. They want to
should
see
be.
the best.
They
you know?
should be.
I
hard
mean,
on you.
and now that I think about it at an older age, would you want them to be soft?
Hell no,
'cause
that
then
means
we'd
you
be
didn't love me.
soft. Yeah,
Like,
that's
what
true
the-
You know what I mean?
It would be soft if they was.
I would have
on
been
us.
too soft of a girl. Like seeing my mom come not knowing Spanish. I mean English, sorry, knowing Spanish and like taking over real estate and teaching my brother and then like her growing her.
And obviously her having to stand up on her own 2 feet and get
Yes.
it done.
Yeah. And you know, and my mom and dad are, thank God, still together and they have their beautiful house and their other homes and everything. And my brother has a great book of business and his own businesses and houses. So the fact that she paved that way for us, I'm forever grateful
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if you told me right now, leave to another country without nothing,
Be like,
without
what
a
the
language you
fuck?
don't know, I'll be like, excuse me?
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'd step up to it if you had
You know, we would step up to it, but like just that
Yeah.
thought to me is like very important, and I'm forever grateful. So it's just funny, you know, to see where one is born or where one come from, and then to see where you are now in life, you would have
Yeah.
never imagined, you know.
Let me ask you this. It's kind of the perfect segue into it. So, how is it being a full-time mom and owning your own business? Talk a little bit about that.
That's I give props to any moms doing this because
I
it's,
give props to moms in the world. Period.
yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. I thank God I have a great support team. So you know, I had a nanny, I have my mom, I have my grandma, I have
Yeah.
my dad.
Yeah.
I have, you know,
You have your team.
that's
Your
my
family.
team. That's my team. My sister,
For
you
the-
know. So
for the family
so
side
my
of
team is there. Like whenever I need to stay late now here or do anything, my team's always taken care of with people I trust, and that's the most beautiful thing. And it's like, yes, it's hard balancing, but I think when you have great team also at work,
Yeah.
that I can like go in at 1 p.m. and be all that morning with my son and dedicate pool time and like
Right. Yeah.
be on mommy mode and like
You
take-
do a lot of pool time.
yeah, I'm a little mermaid, y'all. I be posting bathing
I
suits
know,
left and right.
left and
Hey,
right.
I worked hard for this body.
Hey, get it, girl. Get
And
it.
it's a natural
You know what I'm
body, you
saying?
know. Just one
It's
thing
about
done.
hard work and
One thing
discipline.
done.
It's hard work and discipline, right?
Yeah.
It's about staying consistent
I
to
eat
a
a lot,
common
so
goal.
don't listen
Yeah.
to me. But yes, it is hard work. And
Well, I had braces when I was younger, so I got some work done too. You know, my teeth are small
yeah,
now.
I got my boobs done. I'm gonna be honest, because some people are gonna ask. So I got
Hey,
those
go
done.
for the
know.
gold, you know what I mean? Hey,
Yeah.
we're in a time
They
where
call it-
anything could be done.
They
Yeah,
call it a
well,
mommy
I'm not-
makeover.
No, I'm not gonna go that far. That's a little scary to me. Like, that's,
No, mommy makeover is just getting a little touch up after you have kids.
I know, and I'm props, but I'm scared. Like the boobs already scared the shit out of me. I'm like, I will never go under the knife again.
No.
Like I had all my kids natural, and I'm like,
Well, how
You
long
mean
was
to tell me?
Wasn't it like? Isn't isn't it like a pretty long resting process too? Like, isn't it
I was
like
back to work the next day after mine.
Really? It wasn't
because
like they
I
weren't
didn't
like
have a
sore
choice.
and like hurt, beat up or anything.
I was in pain.
Okay,
But
that's all I was about to
being
say.
the good business owner that I am,
She persevered. She went forward.
I was there like this, but I was there, baby. I was there.
That's dope.
That's cool. That's
Nah,
cool.
I made it.
Yeah, no.
Some stories.
So
I got
what?
a question. Okay, shoot it.
No. Hit yours. I was just gonna go.
I was
through
gonna
some
say, what like in your whole journey, like looking back, what are some like major obstacles you had to face, and how did you overcome those?
Ooh, good question. So I think major obstacles is how young I am and look.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to overcome them sometimes because I'm pretty, I get it, but behind this prettiness, there is a brain and there's a human being and there's a person. And I think it's stereotyped a lot of pretty girls or Instagram girls, or because I have such a huge following that I'm just stuck up, or that I you know, that someone pays for my lifestyle, or that, you know, all these scenarios.
Or that you can't bring qualified business.
Or that I can't do business. And it sucks because if they really got to know the real me and how hard worker I am and how humble I am and how spiritual I am and how I'm just a mom, you know, that owns a business, trying to make it. And
that's beautiful.
And, you know, and I think when people take off all those masks we do have to put on social media, it's so much beautiful what you see underneath.
Yeah.
And I think this year, that's why I asked God for a lot of discernment and authenticity, and he's delivering.
I love it. I love it.
That's so emotional, y'all. That's the mom in me.
No, hey, I was just just reading up on discernment, and I mean, it's not just about gut feelings. It's not just
Correct.
about some of this, all of it. It's all the knowledge and wisdom and all that comes out together through a spiritual gift.
Correct.
That allows you to get a feeling about someone or something that isn't right or is unholy or evil, or is something that's like, I can't tell you, but no.
Yeah. Have you ever looked someone in the eyes and you just can't look them in the eyes?
just like,
it
it's not
scares you,
good.
or
Yeah,
it's not good. Like you could tell there's
bad
like a
vibe.
deep
Right.
past. Well, I think that's how I'm growing more my discernment. That's what works for me lately. And so when I do deep stares, it's to really see the person, to see them, you know, like besides what we show or what we do or the facades, because we all put facades on if
sure.
you really think
For
about
sure.
it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Everyone
like
does.
I have the facade of business owner, the facade of mom, the facade, but who is Mimi, the soul
When you take that
Mimi.
mask off.
You know, when I take all those, and it was a beautiful journey I've been on for the last year. I would say that I recommend everyone to go on, you know, and it's like really get to know yourself, like what makes you happy, what heals your inner child, like,
Right.
and me being the business
deep.
owner has been healing my inner child, like the freedom to be with my kids more and picking my kids over certain things. It's like, talk all you want, but they come before the business.
For sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
because they're
Family
my
comes before
lifeline, you know.
business. Yes, absolutely.
And my business, if it doesn't run on its own, it's not a business. I'm sorry.
Right.
If you're a business owner and you have to slave yourself that much, it's not a business.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
you have to learn to delegate and to trust.
Yep.
And you know what? And also on top of that, delegating trust. Yes, you're absolutely right. I was going to go back to the thing about the authenticity.
Yes, I like
No,
that
it's
word.
real. The authenticity and it
I have another one for you.
All right, cool. I'm going to hear you out. But with that, it's like you have to take responsibility of yourself to be more authentic first, for you to expect authenticity out of anyone else.
Amen.
Because once you are that, then it's also expected around you. And then the people that aren't, it's kind of like you'll start to feel they'll get those weird vibes around you, and you're like, okay, cool. They're weeding themselves out.
That's why I'm corny.
Me too.
Hey, yes, baby.
I swear to God, if you cannot,
only way to be.
I'm corny. You're either gonna laugh or you're not.
I'm 31 right now. My dad to this day, so when he texts me, he goes, "Hey, silly, how you doing?" He still calls me silly to this day. Still, stop it. No, it's not.
Inner child movement healing. Yes.
It's not cute. No, it's not.
I mean, what's something I've always said, bro? I try to be the realest person in the room.
Yeah.
And if I am ever in a situation where I feel like someone's being more real than me, I take a step back and I analyze it. Like, yo, why is this person being more authentic? Why is this person being more straight up? Like, and what are they doing that me mentally, like, I am not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I try to live by that. Like, it's so easy to, especially in this social media world, man.
Yes,
Like,
thank you.
It's
We hit
so
that
easy to just
topic.
be fake and just put this mask on and present just all good with your life, but it's not real.
It's not
right?
real. We all have downfalls. I'm sorry to
Yep.
say this. Even the highest of highest people, billionaires, have downfalls.
Yep, for sure.
But I think with a healthy balance of the two, of
Yes.
knowing of what you're projecting out there plus the goal and the vision for where
Yes,
you're going.
you have to have a vision.
I think that's also what helped trailblazes where you're going, because I think it's easy for people to be like, oh man, this person ain't gonna never do good in this, and it's like they keep chopping away at their goal, and it's
Until
like
they get there. Yeah.
even though you might not be like, I mean, not everyone's gonna be a 30-year vet in the game.
Yeah. Correct.
Not everyone's gonna be doing this for 30 years. It's like, get in when you get in, slowly chop away, but the path that you chip away at is gonna lead you to further than the people that haven't even given it a try.
Yeah,
Correct.
for sure.
That faith over fear. And I think it's also like cleanses. Like I did an Instagram cleanse recently where I unfollowed a whole bunch of like things that don't align with me anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be feeding my brain things that I don't align with anymore.
Sure.
And it's like I want more motivational. I want more business. I want more people that are on a spiritual journey along with me, because it's not just about work. Like you're going to overwork yourself and you're going to crash really bad. You know, I actually produce more when I'm in a state of spiritual cleanse than I do when I'm busting myself for 8 or 9 hours.
know,
I
tell
Tell
swear,
them what
I
you
don't
did
know
this
how.
weekend.
And tell me, oh my
them
God,
what you
does
did
this
this
align?
So well, yeah, no. So I went on about a 48-hour fast. So
Okay.
and this is something that I've done, you know, consistently.
From phone, from food, from what?
No, from food, from smoking, I mean, it was a cleanse of all of
That's
all
beautiful.
physical vices that you really feel and have, you know, and you start to realize things about what's going on. But I mean, you just feel light, you feel crisp, and it wasn't just like, oh, I'm doing it for healthy fast. It's like, no, because I want the Holy Spirit to come in and work His magic,
Yes.
you know, and I fully feel like that's one thing that's missing a lot out of what we have in this world.
I love that you mentioned that.
Is people aren't fasting enough because they're not.
They're
They
scared.
don't-
They don't understand what fasting does.
Right.
They're not educated. You
They
know
don't,
that.
because it's not just physical benefits. It's not just, oh, you're gonna look
It's
lean.
spiritual.
It's
Mental and
spiritually taps in to what the two things that God asks us to do. It says when you fast and when you pray. It doesn't say if you
You know they
fast
took that
or-
out of the Bible.
I know they took that out. I know they did.
I'm awake. They took that out of the
I'm
Bible in the
glad
New
it-
Testament.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm glad you said awake and not woke.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, that one's played out already.
I know. But
awake.
I don't think I've heard someone put it like that. I like that.
But-
I'm
but-
gonna use it in the future.
But you know
I'm
what?
awake.
It's funny because whenever you are in that state, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you do get hungry. You do think about these things, and you know, for one, you think about the people that, you know, go to sleep that are actually hungry.
Yeah.
You know, that's a
You
big
become
one.
more grateful too.
You do become more grateful, and you want to do something about it. But it was weird because, well, it's not weird, but I would read a page and I would feel a little bit like, you know, you fill up on the word.
Yeah.
You
You
fill
do.
up on the word.
Oh, you do devotionals?
Well, no, Phil, you just read. I just read through the Bible.
You should try some devotionals on the app.
I got this Glorify app. Is that what you're talking about?
I have the Bible app, but when I was going through my spirit, I did devotionals, and they're like plans if you're like stressed, anxious, whatever you're going through in the morning. It's
Gotcha.
sad, happy. It has little verses that just align with you in that moment for what you need to go through.
Isn't it funny how sometimes whenever you need it the most, you'll just open up
Oh,
the
yes.
Bible and it just calls right to where your heart is. It's like, I needed to hear this, or you knew I needed to hear
Yeah.
this. Tell me what Jeremiah did at the
Oh
land
my
of...
God, that's
you know,
my favorite verse
You
on
see
my
what I'm saying?
Instagram is
You
Jeremiah 29:11.
See?
For I know all the plans I have for you.
So you understand exactly where I'm coming
Yeah.
from.
That's my son's name too.
Really?
I named both my kids after the Bible, Elijah and Jeremiah.
That's
Wow,
beautiful.
that is.
Yeah,
That's
Elijah's story
beautiful.
touched my heart, and Jeremiah's story did too. So,
See?
that's
Wow.
yeah, it's God-filled moment. Yeah, and then my daughter is just Princess Victoria. She's like the princess. I was like, I want to name you after a queen, baby, because we're queens here. We're breaking generational curses. That to me is the important part. Like, I want to do all my spiritual work, and my kids, we have a meditation room, so they see me doing it. And like my youngest son, like out of nowhere, I remember when he was like a year or two, he would always do this pose and cross his leg, and I was like, shit, he's woke, you know, like.
He's feeling
And
it.
he says some things that leaves you like, you're like, okay, you're really awake, you know. And I think it's a lot of kids now because we have technology, and it depends what you feed them.
Right.
So
Right.
they see me watching these videos. They hear me talk about spirituality. They see everything I do. I do sound bold. Like they do it with me.
Well,
My-
that's the thing about kids too, right? They copy what you do, not what you say. So they'll
Amen.
practice what, like, you know what I'm saying? They pick up the habits you do.
Yeah,
Kinda
so monkey
monkey
see,
see,
monkey
monkey
do.
do.
we said it at the
For sure. For sure.
Hey, right here, mommy. Right here, mommy. Come on.
Are we talking through our third eye?
Hey, it's a
think
Leo
you're
thing
awake,
too.
too.
I like you, baby.
It's a
I
Leo
like you.
thing too.
It's a Leo thing here, baby.
We all in this thing together, man. Come on now.
Damn, this was I felt that connection. It's
on.
funny because I think people can. I saw this thing on TikTok actually where they blindfolded kids, and this is how advanced kids are now. That they blindfolded them, put objects, colors, and things, and they can telepathically now use their third eye to tell you what's in front of them. Like I'm deep into this spiritual, like I want to pass it on to my kids. I think the best thing I can do is pass that in business onto them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
I think that it should be the goal of any parent, like to leave their kids off better than they were.
yeah,
right?
because
Like,
spiritually, I mean, if you go through anything, you have to have an outlet other than your parents, other than life, that you have to like feel connected to source to feel as a human complete. You know,
Well, and also,
it's in
and
our DNA.
Right. And also, I mean, it's like, there's so many things that are unknown in this world, don't you? I mean, you want to have something that you can kind of go back to and be like, hey, what is this? I mean, even if
Your
it was
core.
just like we had, I mean, we had the Buddhist people there.
Yeah.
They have something
one of our market vendors, like we do our H-Town market once a month at Post. We got like 200
Yeah.
plus
Have you
vendors.
been
but
up there yet?
No, I want to go.
You
Can
got
y'all bring
Mimi.
me?
Yeah.
Bring me. No, I've been up to the post for the car shows. Remember?
Yeah, for sure.
But
You need to
invite
come
me
be
for the market.
Yes,
Yes,
all right,
I want to
I'll
be a
invite
vendor.
you. I'll shoot you
Put
an
me to be a
invite.
vendor.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we have to
let's
have you there. We're gonna have
X
to have
marks
you
the
there.
spot. Yes.
Give you
Yes.
2%
Come
off
on.
too.
Okay.
We'll give you
Come on,
2%.
we'll get you
2%,
set
I
up for
like
success. All right,
that.
We're gonna
222
get you
has
set
been
up.
my number, so I'm down with that.
Bang, all about the angel numbers. So
Yes,
let's go.
amen.
Hey, no. But our next one is July 8th. We would
I'm
love
down.
to have you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Valeria, July 8th, baby.
Valeria,
We love you, baby.
you are being requested.
You're being summoned, my love.
To kind of
She's a beast at this, so.
cool.
Cool.
All right.
Well, hey, man, I think
We're gonna be in contact.
Hey, honestly, I think the two of y'all would be good up there because it's good to have
Yeah.
a team up there rocking.
Oh
and
yeah, I
rolling.
don't do nothing without my yin to my yang.
As many of y'all as
Hey,
needed. It's not
hey,
even limited to two.
Yeah, bring as many people up there as
I
you
got-
got. Bring your team, baby. Come on,
I
come up
got
there
you.
rocking and rolling.
But like he was saying, one of our vendors is like a Buddhist, like a group from a Buddhist temple and stuff, like here
my
in
God, that's
Houston.
beautiful.
And no, it's so crazy because like they came and they didn't know what to expect. And like first off, Houston's most diverse city in America.
Amen.
H-Town.
H-Town.
Second off, we try to represent that at our market. Like we have vendors from every different background, industry, everything. And so, someone had said to me like, dude, y'all gonna have like a group of Buddhists there? I was like, hell yeah, bro. Let them spread their message. Let them spread their love. And then
I would be the one signing up. I swear to
it
God.
was so dope. But they even took it a step further. So the next market, first off, she literally gave us the best compliment we could have ever had in the world. She, the head of the group was like, this is the most diverse thing I've ever seen. Like just from the businesses, the type of people that came here to like just everything.
I mean, the second you walk in, just the food selection.
Yes, and we
to me
curated
is
that.
everything.
We were very
Yes.
specific about every tenant in that food hall.
I love that. Like
and
it shows that you put heart.
for sure. No Chick-fil-A's, no Panda Express.
Yeah.
I love those, but that's not for Post.
But it's
And
not
I
a
like that
fast
you use
food
business
court.
owners, like
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
People that you wanted to believe into
Yep.
and like
Yep.
bring other cultures to
Yep.
like you know which one I love? The
What?
African Caribbean one.
Chopping block.
Oh my
Chopping
God.
block.
So good.
Hey, they're top.
Shout out
good.
to their plantains.
They're all
baby.
so good.
I mean,
Hey, even that business owner, like he's incredible person. Like there's so much. He's a wealth of knowledge. We do a lot of events with him too on the side and different things. But he's a wealth of knowledge himself. Like let me just for the crowd too and for
Yeah.
you. He was in the energy field. He graduated from Rice University and everything. Got a big wig job working in the energy companies in the energy sector. He started working at he got a job and when he'd get off of work, he got a job at Chipotle.
oh my God.
Minimum
you see?
wage. So he would work his day
Hustler.
job and then he'd go to Chipotle every day because his mom used to make all African cooking all the time.
Yeah.
She had this huge recipe book. He loved it. He was like, I want to spread the culture. I want to spread the culture through food.
Yeah.
So he got a job at Chipotle.
Just to make
Just to learn the process and how they did their systems.
I have so much respect
he
for
gets
that.
off of work, his big wig job, works for minimum wage. 2 years later, he started doing his own pop-ups
Yeah.
for like celebrities, just Houston, just different things, artists, everything. Boom, first brick and mortar store at Post. He's one of our top sales every month. Top 3 every month.
I love it. You know why? Because those are the stories that make you believe like you can do everything, but when you have a passion for it, it will show. Like it will show. You
Absolutely.
can work 9 to 5 all you want, but when you have a passion for something,
gotta do what
it's-
you love.
And
It
honestly,
shows.
just an overwhelming drive for your goal in mind. Like, I mean, like, look, going to work at Chipotle to learn the what,
Exactly.
to learn the
The
what,
system. To
just
learn.
the system. And then he's
Learn
like,
the
hey,
business model too. He's
thanks.
a smart cookie.
Yep.
This is it. And then he's
No,
like,
he's very in touch with that.
and then he's like, I'm gonna go take this food, bring it to one of the most happening spots around town, and
Because if
and
he
blow
makes
this shit
his
up.
food like Chipotle to go like that, baby.
That's that
I'm a business
they have
girl.
that system line. They call it fast casual,
I'm a
but
moneymaker.
his is like elevated fast
Yeah.
casual. It's delicious. Chopping block at Post Houston. Y'all gotta go.
Hey, I gave you a business idea, baby. Holla at me. Let's execute in real estate. You need to open some more.
So you were saying that also some of the, you were saying people didn't really take it serious.
Yes.
Some of the things that was kind of holding you back. What are some of the biggest ways that you've been able to bounce back from those?
I
What are
think-
some-
about that.
What I love about myself is that I love knowledge. Like I love feeding
Knowledge
my
is power.
brain. I love learning new things. I love Googling. I love looking up. Like I'm the number one Googler.
In the world.
I don't care what you
Number one
tell me.
Googler.
Hey,
I Google everything.
all right, we're gonna have to
She a
test this
goofy
theory.
Googler.
All right, we're gonna have to test the theory.
I started Googling so much. I started doing my own Google ads. I said, I know what people are gonna Google.
Top
'cause
You
I
don't know
know.
nothing
Googleologist.
about no Google ads.
Baby,
You don't know how to, come
yes.
on.
I started searching my own algorithm.
Come on.
I'm a nerd.
Did you really? You
That's-
really did.
I'm a
Look,
nerd
I-
at heart too.
I was an ugly duckling up until maybe 5
don't
years
believe
ago.
it. Shut up. I
I
don't
swear to
believe
God, I'm gonna send you one, only you, a
Okay,
picture.
okay, deal.
And all my high school people know this. So yeah, what now, baby? What now? Y'all are ugly, and how do I look?
The glow up is real.
Y'all in my DMs now. Back then they didn't want me. Now they all on me.
On Mimi.
Baby,
Let's go.
I had to put Houston back on the map with that song.
That's badass. That's
Hey, I pulled
badass.
up with the old Houston classic just to let you know I was there
Hey,
too.
you know it's a good show when Joe's laughing. First off, shout out Joe. And
Joe, baby, come
Joey
on
Joe.
now. Hey, on the
Joe's
cameras,
IT.
baby.
Did
Come
I
on
make-
now.
Ones and twos.
The ones and twos.
Best
Make sure
dude in
y'all
the
see
world.
it, man. Come on.
Ones
out
and
here.
twos.
Making it happen.
Am I making you laugh?
Yeah.
Made it
Yeah.
out. Made it out to the show, even with car troubles. We
Damn.
just got to give dedication
Still.
You're
and
the
some props up to
realest.
Joe.
Joe.
To Joe. To Joe.
We buying you dinner, baby.
Yeah.
Watch it. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
So millennials have.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Natalie. My sister.
What else?
But yeah, I overcame that with
I
intelligence.
was trying to keep
yeah.
organization
Sorry.
of the conversation. I was doing my
It's so
fucking best.
hard,
Yeah.
Overcame it with
That's so
intelligence.
natural.
No, it's good. We keep it raw and rugged on the HW.
No, but
Okay.
I overcame it with intelligence. That's all I can say.
Loving knowledge, top Googling, ugly duckling to glow up.
And she
What are
overcame
the plans
those
for the future?
obstacles. She overcame those obstacles. with
Ultimate
intelligence.
takeover.
But I think
The complete Millennium
Hey,
Circle.
have you ever seen Scarface? You know what he says? The world, Chico. I want the
I
world.
want the world, Chico.
Come on now, baby.
Yeah.
I don't want Houston. I want the
Well, it's
world.
right here in the
The
palm of
world.
our hands. We just got to take it.
Yeah.
I'm a grand manifester. So
Grand manifester.
anything I write down happens.
Yeah.
I
No,
kid you not.
well, no, that does. I mean, that's one of
There's
the biggest
power in
things.
writing
That's one of the biggest reasons why I started using note cards for my
Yeah.
like just because instead of trying to juggle 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 11 things up here, it's like
Yep.
bop, bop,
I
bop.
have to write. I can't do phones.
Once you write it down, then it becomes real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, all right, this is something that has to get done. And then it's like you just check it off once you're finished.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but future goals. I like that you hit that topic. So my soft side likes to write poems. So I
Did
know.
you bring some to
Yeah.
share?
No, hell no.
You
We're not
should.
going live.
Come on,
Baby,
mama.
Mimi,
You gotta
we
put
need
it
to
out
hear
there
it.
first. Hey, that's the thing
No.
for art is you have to put it out there.
Okay, I promised this poetry night I go to on Wednesday that they would be like the first one. It's
Okay, so
Wednesday
tell us
poetry
about
night.
it. Tell us about it. All right.
But one of my friends, when we went out with Tulum, all of us, we had like a very spiritual moment, and they said, "Hey, you know, they really touched me how deep they are." And gave me the idea to actually publish. So I really want to get together a collection
sure.
of my poems. You know, this is, you know, the real me, like not just business me, you know?
Yeah.
And no one really knows that side of me. So it's like, to me, I think it's important I want to inspire my daughter. My daughter's really into singing, and she's
Yeah,
just like a mini me. So I want to show her that you could still be soft, you could still be pure-hearted. Good girls win, you know?
Yeah.
You could still do whatever your heart desires at whatever age.
Man, don't let it make a belief that only men win. Women win in their own lane.
Yes, we all
Their
win.
own lane.
Yes,
It's like, yo, women win in your lane and men win in your lane.
Yeah, like
right?
you win in being strong, like doing things. You know, like
So-
I like that. You know, a lot of women need to let the man be in their masculine
Yeah,
too. So I'm gonna be real. Y'all need to get out of y'all masculine energy.
For sure.
So preach it. No, I want to hear it.
And get into y'all's feminine energy of like being soft, because
There's
just because
beauty
you
in
go.
it. There's beauty in it. There's
And
beauty in
men
it.
like that more. Be honest.
Hey,
Yep,
honestly,
they do. We do.
Honestly,
We
and,
do.
and that's what and you know, I mean, just even trying whenever you just have casual conversations with, you know, with all the craziness that's going around in the world these days, it's like, yo, if you just, I think that's why so many men are putting out feminine energy and women are putting out masculine energy, because the women putting out the energy that they will need the man to put out, and then the man's over here, and the man's over here like, wait, what do you mean? And it's like the woman hasn't. But we each have powers that we need to be aware of our own powers in the masculine and feminine and check them.
Correct.
We
Keep
have
them
to
in
check
balance.
ourselves.
Amen.
Yep.
Because it's like ain't nobody, I don't give a fuck who it is. It's like, man, well, you better be able to handle me at mine.
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no.
I'm not trying to handle you at nothing. If you don't handle yourself and check yourself, then we have more problems, and you're not mentally here with me yet, love. Get out of here.
Oh.
You're not mentally with me yet because I'm not. Thanks, y'all. Thank y'all.
No, I think women needed to hear that.
They do,
You know,
they do.
and they do. They need to lower their tone. It's like, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be manly. I don't want to be my. I don't want none of that. And there's women that are so stuck in that because they're full of resentment.
Yep.
And you can't. You have to be spiritual. You have to let God, and you have to teach love. You're there to teach a man love, softness.
Yes,
You're there to teach them to be vulnerable, to teach trust.
There's so much power in femininity and that softness and like a nurturing nature. Like that is so strong.
You will get more done out of a man if you like, hey,
Yes.
amor, like do this. Then you would, hey, motherfucker, you haven't done
I
this.
tell you what, I was telling someone this the other day. Not even to drag it up, but like ex from a while back, you know, just 6-7 months ago. We broke up and stuff, and I was
Long
telling,
time ago.
I was
Long time
literally
ago.
telling someone the other day. I was like, yo, if she would have just came to me and like been sweet and like talked to me and been soft,
You would
like,
probably still be with her.
I'd probably still be with her. But she every time she called, like
It was like barking.
it was a lot of calls too.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. She was a lot of calls. Every time she called, she'd be like, "You don't think about me anymore," and I'm like, "Ah!" Like,
You know, I'm gonna admit to something. Look, I went through that, right?
Yeah.
With my ex fiance, I learned how to love myself more as a woman and not let anyone get a reaction out of you, because it's also you spiritually. Like, if you're with someone, it's because you truly trust them. If not, there is no point.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think when you're both spiritually aligned to just let things flow, and you have that trust and that communication, and you build a friendship first, I think that's when it's its greatest. I will never
Yes.
go into another relationship without being friends first.
That's how it needs to
and
be.
really getting to know someone mentally, spiritually. Like, what do you do when you're mad? What do you do when we're not on good terms? Like, how do you treat your family? How do you treat others? Because I'm going in blinded then, and I'm figuring this out like later
Absolutely.
down the line.
It's like how long until you fully take off the mask in a relationship?
Correct.
You know, it's like the more authentic you can be, the quicker you can discern whether or not this person's right for you.
Exactly, and I love
Yep.
that. And to me, it's important because
little.
I like that little.
Come on now.
That's gonna be
You
send
bring
it to
full
me
circle.
to put it in a
You bring it full
post.
circle, baby.
In a post
I got
right
you,
there.
love. I got you, baby.
That's gonna be the podcast little comment. To bring
What did I
discernment.
say again?
We'll rerun it. Run it back.
Good thing we recorded this whole thing.
Right?
for real.
With my ADD brain, I don't think I would remember.
Shit, I was gonna write it down, but it's already gone, man.
It's
Y'all know
already
how
gone,
it goes. Shit, man.
Hey, imagine if we could replay everything.
We just had a good point. Where were we?
We were with discernment.
How authentic?
Taking action
Okay,
and
cool.
discernment
Taking
and
action.
authenticity.
Look at us, we got
I know,
ADD.
it was just, I'm over here trying to put it back together. I was like, no, we just had a killer convo. I was
We
like,
just had a killer moment. It was
I just had to
amazing.
marinate on it, so I'll take two.
Flashbacks going on in your head right now. Damn, I said a good one right there.
Man, that was solid, bro.
Okay, so let's hop in another one. I know there's another good question we gotta ask.
Here, I got one.
Yeah.
If you're so smart, all right.
Yes, let's do it. I love those. Hit me, baby.
No. Honestly, that's kind of funny. I had a teacher that, we were in a stats class, and I had no idea, way over my head. And he'd write something down, and obviously we were all confused. And then he goes, all right, well, if you're so smart, try this one on. And it was always like, we have no idea what we're doing here, man. No idea.
You're setting us up for failure.
Yeah. But all right, here's a good one, man. What sort of golden nuggets would you give out to maybe a person that was thinking about going into the title world?
Okay, I think your net worth is your net worth. It's all about who you know, and as long as you have passion and drive is very important, because you have to be able to take no.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
For sure.
Not everyone's going to do business with you. Let me be very clear. People you thought would do business with you are not going to be that ones that do business with you. It's going to be strangers that support you more than anyone you could have ever imagined.
Yep.
And become more close to you than you could have ever imagined.
Yep.
So, like, my support has came from strangers I've met through the power of social media, and I believe being involved in social, you can't be a business owner anymore without having social media.
That's how. Yes.
Put your
100%.
money into social media, a good marketing brand. Like, there is so much money.
Like, and it's free eyeballs, as well as you can spend money strategically on social media or Google Ads or any of that to reach more eyeballs.
Correct.
Like, it's insane when businesses approach us, even like just thinking of it for like whether they were going to be a tenant at like Post or something, or be a vendor at our market.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a website, Instagram, Facebook,
Nothing for people to find you,
Do
like
are you-
a QR code.
right,
Like,
Nothing.
do you take your business seriously? Like, okay, I get you're older, right? You're 50, 60 years old, but it's not hard to
you
create
can
a Facebook
hire
page.
someone straight
You
out
sure
of college
can. You
that's
sure
money
can.
hungry. You can go on other websites and just hire them other countries.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no
Yes, you
reason
sure
for
There's
you.
like virtual assistants for like
Virtual
$8,
assistants,
$10 an
cheaper,
hour,
bro. I found some for like $2, $3.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're effective.
and they answer your emails. Like, for some of our realtors at the office, we have an actual transaction coordinator we've collaborated with, and she runs their transactions because I want the realtors out making money. I don't want them
Right.
in the office. So it's about aligning.
It is so valuable to have a transaction coordinator. I know
Amen.
there's been over the past year when I was using my transaction coordinator, I just told her, I was like, look, I just want to.
Who do you use?
No, it was a girl inside of our
your brokerage,
it was inside of it, but. You know, I'm just like, look, I just want to focus on trying to get more sales.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to give you the signed contracts. And she's like, I'll just put them in places. I need this, and
Yeah.
this.
Goes back to delegation.
And I mean,
Delegating.
realistically, it's just like, you make my job so much damn easier doing this type of stuff.
And sometimes a lot of business owners don't understand that. Like, they want to try and do everything themselves.
Everything themselves, and
Right.
that's the biggest mistake. Like, you can't. I'm sorry to say this, but if your business cannot run successfully without you, it is
yep.
not a business.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, because you have to trust and delegate out, and it's about creating the right atmosphere too. Because if you are treating your people like crap, no wonder you're not going to trust anyone to put up, because you're scared that they're going to treat you like that. So
Yeah.
you have to pour into people. You have to pour into everyone around you, not just business, but spiritually too.
Love,
Like
in
love.
general.
But people
Yeah.
sometimes need a hug or a good job of
I tell him
keep
I love him all the
going.
time.
You know,
He used
a
to think it was
pedicure day.
weird when I tell him I love him. He used to think it was
man.
weird.
Nah, man, nothing
Now
but
he
love,
tells me he loves
man.
me too.
Well, no, hey, and
I'm gonna make y'all corny as I say it too.
All right, chill.
Nah, but
getting
sometimes, sometimes
Hey, I
people
love it deep. It's hard to find people chilling in the deep end in such a shallow world.
It is a shallow
Rolling
world
in
out
the
here. It really is. There's a lot of fraudulent fakes out there.
There
for
is.
sure, for
There
sure.
really is.
And I think that's key too, is being able to recognize that.
And that all goes back to the authenticity
and discernment.
Yeah.
Word of the day, guys, is discernment. You
Discernment.
have to have discernment
And authenticity.
and authenticity. They have worked.
Hopefully,
parallel.
you are blessed with discernment and the authenticity. If not,
Yeah.
you need to find it.
Yeah, you need to do some soul searching.
like-
TikTok will help you. Just don't go down that rabbit hole,
Yeah,
because
you get
you're
lost
gonna
on
look
that.
up.
Well, and then also, okay, that's another thing. At a certain point, you can't keep scrolling for, because
Yeah.
it's always going to be
Entertainment.
it's always going to be another avenue of WTF.
Yeah.
Is this?
Don't get me started.
What do you,
Listen,
what do you
what do-
mean I can't eat cauliflower if I use Clorox bleach wipes? What? It's just like it creates a fumigate.
Have you seen the Mandela effect?
Oh yeah, no. There's some things that are tripping me out about
There's
that.
some things though that really trip me out that I'm like, I'm glad I did go down this rabbit hole, because I thought I was going crazy for a while. I was like, bro, I could have swore it was spelled a different way. Am I tripping
You
like
see all
Looney
those
Tunes?
cereals and stuff. It
Yes.
was like not like
crazy.
Lucky Charms.
And then they never had it before.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's
Apparently, they
weird.
said like Kazam wasn't a movie.
Yeah.
Well, Shazam was
They
Shaq.
Shazam
combined-
wasn't a
They
movie.
combined
That's not
two
cool.
movies. They combined
that's not
two
cool,
movies.
because I remember the
There's,
no.
the Shaq movie was a movie, And then there's another one where
They just swallowed it alive. What do you mean?
no. It's with the Sinbad.
Sinbad,
There's
yeah.
another one. And
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
people blended the marketing of those together in their minds is what is doing. It's actually two
No, they
separate
said
movies
it never
and they exist.
existed.
No.
Both movies existed.
Thank you.
Both movies existed, right?
Brother,
Separately, yes,
no,
yes.
But they're
brother,
saying they
that's
didn't.
what we're
I
saying.
know. It's because they
This is the
blended that shit in their
Mandela
minds.
effect,
I know.
viewers.
Okay.
This is what we're
Right
saying.
below your
They're
Mandela
saying
effect.
it wasn't there.
Comment below your Mandela
Yes.
effect, please. I'm telling you, we're not the only one. Like the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it was never Bernstein
Yeah.
Bears. It was
Yeah, or the
Barnfield
Monopoly
Bears.
guy. I got you. The Monopoly guy with the eye.
Yeah.
They said that he didn't have a reticle.
Yeah. They
Bill
said he
shit.
never had the eye up there.
No, he did. Well, dude,
He had a bag of money
I remember
too.
because we're Hispanic and we made fun of that like no other. And when what was it, Katrina or Harvey hit? I remember us being. I played Monopoly with my grandma. Do not play
I
with
love
my grandma.
Monopoly.
She
It's
probably
so much
whooped
fun.
your ass.
She whooped my ass.
Yup.
And I was like, Grandma, I'm in real estate. Like, how dare you whoop my
She's
ass?
like, ha ha ha, Broadway, bitch. You know?
Yeah. She would get the little ones and then hotel them, and I'll be like, I need to watch out for the quiet one. She'd just be. And
She's like, you gotta pay Granny again. Give me that 200.
you got right. I'll be like, damn, gotta pass her again. Everyone, when it was time to pass her block, we were like,
No.
It's like grandma's about to get paid. Damn it.
Abuelita, tranquila.
and then Domino's, don't get her started. She'll throw down.
That's funny.
But that's the Cuban culture right there.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that's wild.
I guess let me ask you this. So how do you kind of merge social media with your business? Like I know you have a lot of followers too. Like that's dope.
So I made the mistake of promoting myself as a business, and I think that's bad as a business owner. You need to promote your business and so I did that in the beginning because I was the strongest point of the business. I was bringing my book of business. Now this year I'm learning just to promote my business.
For sure.
Because yes, people like me, but there's also different escrow teams. I have different people, and not everyone's gonna want to do business with me. And I'm cool. Do business with my escrow teams.
Yeah.
You know, and
Absolutely.
so I'm learning to brand more Millennial Title on itself. And
Yes.
so, you know, I'm learning, guys. You know, we're learning as we go, and I think it's so important that I give that lesson to a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs watching, because we all tend to get glorified with Instagram. You know, and mine was, it was like 1 month to the next, it blew up. Out this video got like 4.3 million views. It was a random video. I flipped my hair, and I was like, oh
Shit.
okay.
And they're like, it's out there.
There it goes.
It's out there. I was not, you know, when you don't expect it. And so I'm like, wow, this one, the one where I'm not even educating, or the one I
Yeah.
didn't even take my time
Yeah.
on, where I just did it in the car. And so
It's funny how that works.
it's funny. And so then after that, you know, I just maintained it. So my Instagram personally gets like 80,000 views on its own on my account. And then Millennials up to 10 to 12K. It fluctuates.
Beautiful.
So
We took the same approach. Like when we were first starting, we were like I was, dabbling in social media. I used to hate social media. I hated
too.
it because people were like glued to their phone, yada yada. I used to argue with
That's
everyone.
me now.
And it was like, do we want to build ourselves or do we want to build a brand?
Correct.
And then, so it's like a conscious decision we made. H-Town Happy Hour, like Houston, people love Houston. H-Town Proud,
Yeah.
like Happy Hour, people love drinks. Like we got nothing to do with Happy Hour. It's just more like happiness.
Yeah.
And it
I
kind
love
of that's
it.
where we are now.
I love it. I love it.
You
I
know,
love
and-
the vibes. I
and-
love everything.
And honestly, I mean, it just kind of took the city by storm. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much activity that we've been a part of that it's just non-stop bangers, creative content, good work.
As
Isn't
every
it? You're
day.
constantly
It's
like.
just one after another after another
Ask
after another.
Valeria.
And then it's come to a point to where it's like, you know, we've worked so hard at so many different angles and avenues. It's like the hurricane that's been forming with this is starting to open up and unwind.
It's
and
beautiful.
Not starting, it's been unwinding, but also
You're
at the
seeing
same
the
time.
effect.
Yeah, we're seeing everything come to fruition.
Exactly. It's hitting land. It's hitting land, and it's just like it's unstopped. It's just moving.
And that's what's beautiful. It's like when you really pour your heart, like y'all pouring your heart, it's like you're seeing that before your eyes. It's like a little baby, like first taking its first walking step, and you're like, oh my God, like you mean to tell me
It's
that I
happening.
actually believed and it happened? Like
It's crazy to build something.
It's when you're a visionary, though. I think it takes someone that has a plan, because it's a lot to believe in yourself, and not a lot of people will cast their fears and their anxieties upon you.
Right.
So you have to be able to have what we talked about, discernment, and say, hey, your fears, or you telling me not to do this, has nothing to do with what I know I'm capable of.
And what I'm gonna do.
Well, and then also,
And you got to be delusional.
Yo, and
sure.
how many
Put the blinders
people?
on.
And how many times are there going to be people who say, "Oh, you can't accomplish that"? There's going to be naysayers to
Do you
everything.
know how many told me that?
To everything.
They were like, Mimi, title? Do you know
Right.
how many times when I introduced myself, hey, I own a title company, like I introduced myself to a neighbor the other day with a friend of mine. We were together and I was introduced. I'm like, yeah, I own title company. They're both faced because they were elder. They were like, they turned their head and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why title? And I'm like, it just fell upon my lap. I mean, I've been in real estate and it's something I love. But they don't believe someone young and someone, you know,
it's
of
crazy.
my caliber owns something that is so powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if you put me in, I'm the only Latina title owner in Houston.
That's
so
huge.
to me, it's like a big weight on my shoulder of showing my daughter like what I'm capable of doing. Or I'm gonna say better, the first minority like that to really own something,
For sure.
you know, because I want to speak for more, not just Hispanics.
Hey,
you know,
carry that weight on your shoulders well, though, mama.
and
do.
we got to.
You know what I'm saying?
And also, I'm sure that you've been able to see that, you know, even like you consider yourself to be a minority, doing good business is what sets you apart from anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Amen.
Representing yourself as a professional
Integrity.
business
Right.
individual with your business is probably going to get you further along than any sort of credential, any sort of, oh, I have this business, that business. It's like, well, how well do you handle your business?
Yeah, and how well do you pour into people? You know, like I want my realtors to leave with knowledge with me and leave happy. Like I'm there for them. They call me at 8 p.m. needing a net sheet. Best believe I'm going to answer. You know what I mean?
sure.
And if not, they'll get a text, or I'm probably on a line with another. Like my sister was there till 9 p.m. Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, who's going to open on a Saturday and close a client because they got to work all week and can't take off, you know? So it's like you really got to set the bar. And I think when you provide exceptional customer service, like I think business owners forgot we provide the customer service.
Yeah.
Like we have to hold our people on a pedestal, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
People do business with people they like.
They like, exactly. So if I'm giving you top-notch A1 service and I'm there for you and you know that it's going to get handled and done because my team always takes care of it,
Yeah.
Sit
for
back,
sure.
relax, and enjoy the
you're
show.
going to sit back, relax, and
that's-
wait till
enjoy the show.
closing.
Right.
I take the exact same approach. Like my team knows my phone is open anytime. Like
Amen.
if I am available to answer that call, you can call me no matter what time, no matter what's going on. Like if I can physically answer that phone, I will answer it. And then it kind of it sets the tone for your team, right? Because now I can call you. Like,
Yep.
okay, it's 7 o'clock on a
They're
Monday
confident.
night, but like they'll answer my phone call knowing that A, it's something that I can't wait till tomorrow with,
And
or
it's
B,
important.
exactly same with clients, right? Not just with the team, right? Like our vendors call us at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, if I'm awake, I'm gonna answer it. Like,
Don't
dude,
worry,
is
I've
it-
had a couple
is
of
it-
those.
They hit you up in the wildest times. They're like, "Oh, just got
And
your
with the
message."
wildest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 11:30, miss. Like, I'm not putting you in the X atrium. Like, no, I'm not putting you in no fucking X atrium, miss.
They know what we're talking about.
It's 10:30.
Hey, we love you, man.
We
But I
love
mean,
you.
like 9 to 6, a standard in between those 2 hours. Would you mind 9 a.m., 6 p.m.? We're good, all right?
Let's keep it within business.
But I think that's important. I think it's really important being there for your team and being there for your clients. Like, I think it's key to any business, no matter what business you're in.
And networking too, like
Yeah.
meeting you that day. I was out there,
For
I was
sure.
like exchanging.
Hey,
The
that-
fact that we knew each other,
I
like on
know,
social
I know,
media,
I
like
know.
the power of social media,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's so
I
beautiful.
just saw her out randomly at a coffee and cars. Let me tell you, and we got the video coming out soon because she said some gold in it.
Yeah, some
I'm
golden
in-
nuggets there, too.
Yeah,
Let's go, baby. Come on now.
I was like, I don't know if you remember what you said, but I'm gonna see. I was like, so what brought you out to coffee and cars? Tell him. She was
Oh,
like,
shit.
I remember it was
it's a bunch of rich dudes with hot
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
nice
that's what I
cars.
said.
Why would I not be here? I was like, yo, that's real.
But then
That's-
I said
that's
I got money
authentic,
too,
baby.
and I was like, nah, I got
yeah,
my
she's
own
like, I
home.
got money too, but she's
But
like,
I like the
that's
rich men in the rich car.
That's fucking hilarious.
I was like, oh,
Hey,
we got
I'll be in my own rich car. Give me a year. Give me a year, baby.
Hey, at least you were being authentic,
Yeah,
okay? At
right,
least you told them what
right,
you
And
were
we
looking for.
hit it off.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did you manifest any rich dudes with rich cars?
Baby, they came flocking.
love it.
Hey.
No. But then that's just, she was
I was
telling me
just
that's got to be a title company, and I was like, yo, we gotta have her on the show. Yeah.
She did, huh? She did. Yeah, she did.
That same day.
She did. She did.
How do you think that trip to Tulum was taken care of? No, I'm just kidding.
That was on Millennials tab. No,
okay,
I'm gonna shout out to Jatine at Tile Center. Thank you. You sponsored that whole. I'm not sending you no Apple Pay, baby. They went with me. They know what we're talking about.
That's good shit. I think that's about it, huh?
I mean, hey, so how can people find you on social media and everything? Your website?
You can find me at Cubana_closing time and then Millennial Title Company.
Yeah.
So reach out to us. We'll take care of you. We'll give you A1 service from beginning to end.
For sure.
And I want to thank so much for the opportunity to have me on here and just have a voice. Like, it's so important to use your voice. And the fact that y'all have me here and we're just laughing, the vibes are good. It's amazing to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you as well. Like, we thank you for getting us a shot, come on the show and everything. Like, I knew from the second we had a conversation, I was like, she's going to come on the show. It took a little
planning. I was like, I'm going to Tulum randomly.
And he's
like,
going out of town the next week.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I was going to go 2 weekends back to back, and I was like, nah, I'm doing too much. Let me calm down.
And then Joe had car problems today. I was like, the fact that this happened
made it.
was, yeah.
And then I had my own situation before I got in here.
Yep. I don't even do that.
Let me tell you, so did we. We were doing our toes. We stopped midway.
All right, well, hey, that's our show.
No, what's yours? No, what's yours?
We're not talking.
No, what's yours?
That's our show.
That's the show.
All
That's
right.
a
We
wrap.
appreciate it. That's a wrap. Thank you for coming.
H-Town Happy Hour, best
Happy Hour.
podcast in the world.
See you next week, baby.
Let's go.
Get out of here, man.